today I'm going to walk you through the very simple process of either overclocking or underclocking the laptop. Now there's a few things that we need to take into consideration first, and the first one is obviously whether you should be overclocking your laptop to begin with. Laptops typically aren't made to be overclocked. They struggle with high temperatures, and my laptop's no different here. I have an i7 4700HQ. It's an Ivy Bridge, so these are known for heat. As you can see, this is no different from my laptop. I'm only at a load of 20%, and I'm in the 70s, 60s, 70s, doing nothing. So it's probably safe to say that this laptop should not be overclocked. Sitting here at idle, I'm at high temperatures. Well, not idle. And in games, I can even reach up to 90 degrees easily with this. So in my case, underclocking would be the best, but I'm still going to show you how to overclock as well. So first of all, we're going to be opening up the Intel Extreme Tuning utility, and you want to go to the Manual Tuning tab, and you're going to have to accept the terms. And what you're going to have to do is, you might be overwhelmed because there's a lot here, but what you need to look at here is the Dynamic CPU Voltage Offset. And what this does here is it changes the voltage, because laptops typically, and a lot of desktops, are on a dynamic voltage, so it changes. As you can see, it's changing right here based on the load and the clock of the CPU. So you can just bring it down to whatever you test to find safest, and you may also have to go over here and underclock your laptop a bit here. And this right here would be 400 megahertz decrease at maximum boost, which isn't that big of a deal considering it's a laptop. Yes, so decreasing this to whatever you end up finding safe. I mean, you're gonna have to do some testing here. So this is just an example here. So decreasing clocks to a good point and decreasing your voltage will help out your temperatures a lot in the long run. As you can see here, my voltage has dropped by about 0.2 volts. That's a big difference. And to measure the real difference you gain or lose in performance, you can use something like Cinebench here, which tests your CPU. Here's an example run. Oh, you can hear those fans really ramping up. Finishing this will also show that your system has some stability, but this alone will not be enough to test your stability. I would recommend either using Prime 95 or the built-in test that the Intel Extreme Tuning utility comes with. It's also very good. I'm just going to let this finish up. You can see even with this down clock and this decrease of 80 millivolts, still hit 90 degrees, and we were only at a high load for a very short amount of time. And if we did not decrease the clocks there, we would have easily reached almost 100 degrees Celsius. This is a very hot laptop, very thin but very hot. Ivy Bridge is just known for that. So honestly, you can decrease this voltage even more with more testing. But for the sake of the video, I'm going to leave that to a different time. Now, another thing that this video will be going over is, of course, overclocking. So normally, we were sitting here at a 3.4, 34 multiplier on every core. Like so. Put this going back to the 0 point. Alright. So this is where we were. Now to overclock, now there's not much to overclock on laptops. Obviously, not every core, as you can see here just by the bars, you're limited to the top core. So you can bring one core up to 36, second core up to 35, but the other cores will still be limited to 34, effectively 3.4 gigahertz. Now, you will probably have to give this guy just a little bit of a bump in voltage to a degree. Of course, like I said, you have to just bump, test, check for stability. Here we see a built-in stress test and a built-in benchmark. These are both very good, and I highly recommend you use them. And I highly recommend you get RealTemp and CPU-Z to monitor these things more closely. That way you can see effectively the actual time that's going on. And I also recommend definitely using Cinebench. It's a great program, and it helps you compare not only your results to your overclocked and underclocked CPU, but it also helps you compare to other CPUs out there on the market. So you can effectively increase your CPU to almost a next level, which is very amazing. I highly recommend you do it. Alright, that's all for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.